PodMoth.
Welcome to Freaky Fridays, the podcast where we talk about all kinds of scary, spooky, freaky shit.
We're your hosts, Michele and Melissa. Tonight we're going to chat about fucking clowns.
Fucking clowns.
Nobody likes them. Nobody likes clowns.
No. And if you do, there's something wrong with you. Unless you're a 2-year-old toddler that doesn't know any better, something's wrong with you.
When reading about clowns and the fear of clowns called coulrophobia.
I saw that. Yes.
An article on Britannica.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm thinking like Britannica, the old...
Yes, that's what I thought too.
They used to sell like door to door.
Yeah.
So an article on Britannica Online said that clown makeup can be unsettling because it kind of resembles a human face, but distorted.
Mm-hmm.
And it can also provide mixed signals to whoever's viewing them. So they could be smiling from the paint, but the person is actually frowning. It's just like a mind fucker.
Well, not to interrupt you, but I also read like sort of along the same lines of like, why are we afraid of clowns? Mm-hmm. And I mean, everyone has their own reason, but part of it is because it's not necessarily the way the mask looks or the painted makeup, whichever they're wearing. It's because we don't know who's underneath.
Right.
And we don't know who or what they are or what kind of person they are.
Hiding identity, right.
Yeah.
It said, I thought I had it here, but it said something about like how kids really don't like clowns because they don't know what to make of this face that they're not used to.
I guess I just always think of like kids seeing clowns at birthday parties or the circus. And I don't know, I guess I never really paid attention to how kids reacted to them in actual like real life.
But then it seems recently, or maybe just because we're older now, I don't know, but kids don't like clowns either. Like nobody likes clowns anymore. Poor clowns, poor real clowns.
Well, yeah. And that's something that I wanted to talk about. But I was trying to think about like, how did I feel about clowns as a little kid? And I honestly don't remember being a little kid and like ever being around a clown or seeing a clown or anything like that.
I don't think that was highly requested on my birthday.
No, but I feel like my first encounter of being creeped out by clowns is from one of the first scary movies I ever watched, Poltergeist.
Ah, yes. Yeah, I think that ruined it for a lot of people.
Yeah. And then, and again, I was only in like kindergarten when I saw that, or younger. I think I was actually younger. Yeah. It's so inappropriate, but it is what it is. But then as I got a little bit older, one of our aunts, and I don't know why she started this, she started giving me these porcelain clown dolls for my birthday. And, you were raised to like not be rude when someone gives you a gift and just accept it and whatever. And so I never said anything. They stayed in their boxes and I kind of put them away. And for a couple of years, she kept giving to me. And I was like, fucking clown, like, why are you giving this to me? And they were like old Victorian, like porcelain looking clowns. And they were creepy.
Not the cute little.
Yeah. And then finally, when I had the balls, I like got rid of them. And I remember one time talking about clowns and my mom was like, you used to collect clowns. I was like, no, excuse me. No. I didn't choose to collect them. Someone started giving them to me for my birthday. I never took them out of the box. They're fucking creepy.
They were going to come out of the box and get you.
That's why I just stuck them away somewhere, because who does that? Who gives a young, like tween girl a porcelain clown doll in a box for her birthday? Who does that? Oh, my aunt. And she's not an aunt that anyone likes either. So maybe that's why.
That's why nobody likes her.
Probably. I mean, and I've just never, I guess I just, like I said, until Poltergeist, never really had thought about clowns before until that movie. And that obviously wasn't a nice clown. So maybe that's why. Maybe I had told her how it creeped me out and that's why she started doing it. Wouldn't surprise me.
Forcing it on you.
Yeah.
You weren't scared of like tarantulas and she started giving you those.
Right.
What a bitch.
Yeah. clowns.
What should we talk about first? I think
Well,
we have to bring up the obvious John Wayne Gacy, because besides the poltergeist clown, and besides the It clown,
Pennywise. Fun little fact, Pennywise in It was somewhat based off of Pogo the Clown, which is, we all know, John Wayne Gacy. So John Wayne Gacy, who's the infamous serial killer, dressed up as Pogo the Clown and entertained at kids' parties. And they've also said, it's been maybe sort of hearsay, but he may have dressed up as Pogo at times when he was doing his murdering act, shall we say. And they say that Pogo the Clown is when clowns started to get a bad rap. So all the professionals, because I mean, clowning started back with Emmett Kelly back in like, I don't know, it was like 1898 or something like that. And there was a lot of famous clowns back in the day. It was an art form to them. They took it serious. They did it to uplift people. And then there was your ones that were like the silent, sad clowns, but they were still harmless, but they were doing it. It was their art. Joseph, kind of like a mime. Joseph Grimaldi was another one. He was like in the 1700s. And he was actually the first one who started doing the painting of the face with like the white paint and the giant smile. Again, it was an art form to them. It wasn't supposed to be anything malicious or anything like that. And they say that clowns started to get a bad rap when Gacy was convicted, when he, started doing Pogo the Clown. That's where sort of clowns got their bad name from. And real life clowns who did it as a job and an art form, they say that it's dropped by like the thousands over the years. Like there's this whole clown community and it's just dropped off because
World Clown Association. I went to their site.
Yeah. And I feel so bad for them because
they really do want to entertain and go entertain kids. And
and it's all thanks to John Wayne Gacy. And that's when people started using clowns, and whether it was the disturbing paint, however they did it, or wearing a scary looking clown mask, is when people started using that as something more towards evil than something that was supposed to be uplifting and cheering you up at like a kid's birthday party or making fun balloon art or whatever.
I thought it was interesting watching that new Gacy documentary. Have you finished it?
I have not finished it, but I mean, I've seen so many documentaries on him, but this documentary feels to me like I am getting all new information.
Right. That's what I was going
to say. And I love that.
And the clown part of it is very minimal, because I thought I was going to say more how he would be doing these kids parties to lure kids in or something, like something more sinister and creepy. But it's really bringing to light, like, I don't know if I believe anything that guy says. I mean, it's just...
I know. I don't know if I do either. And he even talks about how when he was doing Pogo, he claims that he wasn't doing it with the intention of luring in little kids. Like, he did it because it was something fun for him, and it sort of brought him back to this kid-like nature, which I kind of believe, because I think that anyone who has made being a clown literally their life and their job and their art, there's a kid in there that wants to come out, right? Like, that's how I look at it. So I believe him in that aspect, but I don't believe that he didn't have malicious intent,
right?
Or when he dressed up.
Truly that Jekyll and Hyde character, then that was his good side.
Right.
That was his jovial public persona where he was friends with everybody, blah, blah, blah.
Look at me, I'm the good guy. I'm doing something good for the kids.
But he's still creepy.
He's got dead eyes too.
And what did we find out? Oh, I don't know if you've gotten there yet, but when he was a kid, not super young kid, but when he was a kid, he fell down the stairs and hit his head. Yep. Well, I hit my head really bad when I was in 6th grade.
Oh shit. I'm like waiting, like, when's my serial killer like gonna turn out in me? When's that gonna happen?
There's a lock on that spare bedroom when I come to visit.
This was the other one that's based off Pogo, Twisty the Clown from American Horror Story.
Oh.
So that was kind of interesting. How do you take something so real and disturbing? Serial killer who is put to death because he killed over 30 boys, buried them in the fucking trenches that they dug themselves in his home and turned 2 characters out of him. Like,
unbelievable.
But that's our fascination with evil and all things scary, right? Like, we think it's sick and twisted, but yet we're fascinated and we keep watching it and we keep wanting to learn more about it. So it's like, I can't really sit here and say, why would you take a character, not even a character, a real life person who was a serial killer and dressed up as a clown and turn it into a character, when I'm sitting here and I've seen everything about them? Like, it's because human people are
weird,
fascinated by murder and
us kind
true
of
crime. And
people.
Sure, not everyone, but a good chunk of humanity it's like roadkill. You don't want to see it, but you can't look away.
I can't look away. I want to understand these minds and it be like a warning to look out for that in other people.
I'm pretty sure at some point in our lives we have crossed paths with a murderer.
I know, isn't that weird?
And I don't just mean like someone who killed someone on accident or self-defense. I mean like an actual like.
Well, that's the interesting part about this John Wayne Gacy documentary. And I don't know if you got this from other ones, but he just seemed so normal. Like the guy next door, he didn't
like Ted Bundy.
Yeah, and even Ted Bundy had some things that you could say, oh, he was kind of weird on this,
but he was charming, and that's all that mattered.
And so is John Wayne Gacy, according to neighbors and friends. And
yeah, because he like won some award for being like the person of the year or the town or whatever, some stupid award it was. I mean, he had people fooled.
Oh yeah,
he had them fooled, and that's why he was probably so good at being Pogo the clown, because he was acting and he was being a child and he was doing all these weird things, and people were fooled and just thinking like, well, here he's just a do-gooder.
Yeah,
right. He's part of
guy.
Yeah, he's got a wife and kids and he works. Yeah. Can I please tell you what a female clown is called?
Yes, please.
Do you know what a female clown is called?
I do not.
Do you want to take a guess?
Clownette.
A female clown is a clunt. I'm not shitting you. Look it up.
Oh shit. I'm going to use that for sure. How have I never heard that before?
Michelle, what do you want to be when you grow up? I want to be a clunt.
Why isn't there a world of clunts?
Oh, there is a world of clunts out there, trust me.
That's the best. I really did not expect that.
Yeah, I couldn't wait to tell you.
They say that. Why would they put that?
Don't know. I mean, some people argue that there's no gender in clown, but this specifically does say, like, what is a female clown? A clunt. And it says a clunt. I think it's so cool.
So if somebody's being a bitch, but it's kind of funny, call them a clunt.
If someone's acting a fool, stop being a clunt.
Yeah.
Stop clunting around.
Oh my God, that's great. We need to make stickers. So let's talk about
Wrinkles. I looked a lot about Wrinkles, and I keep calling him fucking Winky, and I don't know why.
Gross. I thought Wrinkles was bad. Winky's worse. Winky, aka Wrinkles the clown.
Fucking Winky the clown. Why can't I get it right? It's Wrinkles. Wrinkles the clown.
Okay, so if you don't know who Wrinkles the clown is, he is the quote unquote scary clown for hire. Big surprise, this is in Florida. His claim to fame was a video in 2015 that went viral on YouTube. There's a camera in a little girl's room, shows her sleeping in her bed. She has like a trundle bed. And all of a sudden the bed like slides out and this clown Wrinkles comes out of the trundle bed.
How did he not suffocate in there? Like, how long had he been in her trundle?
I know. And I was like, how did she not notice? I mean, how did he fit in there?
And there was some balloons too, because they start to slowly pop out. But that's what I want to know. Like, how long was he hiding in the trundle before it was like, okay, Susie, it's time to go to bed?
But how fucking scary to imagine.
I would have beat the shit out of him.
Or if you were a parent.
Or I would have pissed myself.
Before I knew the story about him, if you were a parent watching this on your video, seeing a clown come out of your daughter's trundle bed, I mean that.
Here's where I'm confused, because aren't the parents the one hiring?
Right. So this is before I knew about that.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Video, and I was like,
you didn't realize the parents hired him.
No. And then I guess all these stickers with his face and his phone number began appearing all over Florida, and then people start calling him, and people are using him, hiring him to discipline their kids.
Yeah. And there's a lot of parents I haven't watched, supposedly there's a documentary about it.
I watched it. I didn't finish the whole thing.
Okay. I haven't watched it, but from what I can tell from like the trailer and just certain things I've watched, there was a lot of parents who were fucking pissed about this, not who were on the opposite side of hiring some fucking freaky dude to come and scare your kids like that. And they weren't happy about it.
Shit. I thought it was a great idea. I'm not a parent. So these parents, wanting to traumatize their children, apparently.
Yeah. And I don't know. So the people that like where you can hear their voices being recorded, their conversation, I don't know if these specific people who were calling in about it didn't know that parents were hiring him, or if they just thought he was some freak going around scaring kids like willy-nilly on his own. But there were people like this one trailer that I watched, and it interviews kids like, yeah, you can hire him and he'll scare you. And then there's, a couple of phone calls where you hear a conversation exchange between a parent and Wrinkles. And she's like, hi, I want you to come scare my daughter straight, blah, blah, blah. And then there's parents who called in and were like, who the fuck do you think you are? Yeah. And it was like, whoa, so, which I get, right. That's a little extreme to do, because having a grown man hide under your daughter's, you don't know who this man is.
I would rather get a spanking than have my parents have a clown under my bed at the age of like 8 or 7 or whatever, however old that little girl was.
That's traumatizing.
Yeah. Either way, I'm probably going to be in therapy, but the scaring the shit out of them, I don't know if that's necessarily going to work.
It's like how that show Scared Straight, where people would send their kids to, trust me, there were times where I wanted to send my kids to Scared Straight for the day, but I would never hire. And he's a freaky ass looking clown. He's scary looking.
Normal clown mask. That's not something that you buy at Target or.
No, that's like demented looking. I would never in a million years do that to my kids, nor would I hire him as a prank. And I know people who are really afraid of clowns, like super afraid of clowns. I would never in a million years do something like that to scare them. That's a whole weird level of scary, especially.
I don't like pranks at all.
No, but that's
another level.
But to invite this man that you don't know into your home and allow him to hide in your daughter's bed, like, you don't find that weird?
So the documentary is from 2019. It's called Wrinkles the Clown. It's kind of a spoiler, but halfway through the documentary, it's revealed that the man the crew has been following is in fact an actor hired by the real Wrinkles to keep up Wrinkles' secret identity. So Wrinkles explains later that his character is part of an elaborate art project. So they blur out his face, and the real Wrinkles shows the documentary crew behind the scenes footage depicting the making of various videos, where he reveals that he has never actually gone to anyone's house, and that all the videos depicting Wrinkles frightening children were in fact made with the participation of actors.
Interesting.
And then it says Wrinkles expressed his satisfaction with the impact the project had while contemplating its future and the role it has had in contemporary American pop culture. It really showed like the power of social media and, these people that kind of get this fame from going viral and just the craziness that it causes.
I also heard that when asked why Wrinkles became the scary clown was because he said, and now I don't know now if this was the actor saying it or just him, but he said that his answer was because no one was hiring him as a regular clown.
Yeah, he wasn't doing so well on the clown front, so he decided to go. Yeah. Were you using that mask? Maybe that's what I wouldn't hire you for my kids either.
Yeah. And it's weird because there's actually been aside from Pogo, John Wayne Gacy, there was other clown shit happening before Wrinkles. I wanted to say Winky again before Wrinkles. In France, there was a clown gang. Did you know about that?
I did not, but I know that this 2016 thing ended up over there too. So clowns has just been a problem for years.
Yeah, but again, started after John Wayne Gacy.
Right. So he really made that clown thing.
It was a huge impact. Yeah.
What do you think about calling Wrinkles?
Can we?
In 2019, it said that the number was still active.
Let's do it. Call him.
I get so much spam on my phone anyway. I don't care.
You've reached Wrinkles the Clown. I'm not here to take your call. Leave me a message. I'll call you back.
That is going to haunt my dreams.
So if you want to call it, it's 407-734-0254. It's all over the interwebs. So
what was that number again?
407-734-0254.
Fuck, dude. That seriously is going to haunt me. This is what I wanted to tell you. It was on my mind earlier. So obviously a lot of things creep me out, and we do this podcast because we love scary things, right? But nothing has creeped me out more research-wise than the clowns.
Really?
Yeah. So like even during the day when I've been looking up clown stuff, if I've had my office door open, there's been this feeling of like something's going to creep up on the side of me. I could talk about fucking Teddy all day. We could talk about, Charles Manson and Ramirez and all of them. But when I started researching clown stuff, I had this eerie feeling like I needed to keep looking behind me. And that's, I don't know, it's creepy. And that's why clowns are they're fucking creepy. You don't know with them.
That's funny because I had the complete opposite reaction.
Really?
When I started looking up all this stuff, and I felt like it was like spoiler alert, spoiler alert, spoiler alert. Like
yeah.
Obviously not the John Wayne Gacy thing, but from the documentary, it almost loosely ties him with the clown. Like you have to make those connections. It's not like he dressed up as a clown and he killed people.
Right.
So, and then we talk about Wrinkles the clown. And, you find out that it's this quote unquote elaborate art project that the real Wrinkles says. And then it kind of takes the wind out of my sails. And then now if we move on to the 2016 clowns across America, which they kept calling it Killer Clowns.
Yeah.
All over the news, started in South Carolina.
It was a frenzy.
It was crazy. It was they call it a craze. So in 2016, South Carolina, a 9-year-old boy tells his mom that there were 2 clowns that tried to lure him into the nearby woods.
Woods
Woods
and clowns, they don't go together.
Could you be more of a nightmare? By the end of September 2016, the phenomenon had spread across many states. The worst of all things I read about this was on October 7th, 2 parents were arrested. Did you read this too? 2 parents were arrested. They left their 4-year-old child at home so they could allegedly terrorize the neighborhood while dressed as clowns. What a bunch of
I think what's worse though is the young 16-year-old boy that was stabbed to death because he was scaring kids with a clown mask on.
Okay, so I was searching everywhere to find out if there was actual deaths that occurred because of this. And I found none.
Yeah, it was in Pennsylvania. A grown man stabbed him to death because the 16-year-old was dressed as a clown. And this was, I think, during all that shit that was going on, was dressed as a clown and going around and scaring people. And this other man who was like 29, 30 years old stabbed him to death.
Wow. I mean, I did hear people were like shooting into the woods or shooting in the air to scare away, but I did not know that there were any more. I swear I looked at so many sites trying to find something.
Yeah, I mean,
I didn't know that somebody actually got hurt.
This was in September of 2016. So it was in that year of the fucking clown frenzy, which they say started because of it.
I heard that too. And then I also watched a video that said that it was coming out 2017, but there was a different clown movie that they did kind of a publicity stunt in Wisconsin.
Yes.
That might have started it too.
Yeah. Do you know, and this disturbs me, but do you know who is actually considered the most famous clown of all time? Ronald fucking McDonald. He's creepy to me.
He is creepy. And I don't know why, but I always saw him as like a child molester.
A pedophile.
They had the Ronald McDonald house. And I'm like, I don't feel comfortable with that.
But apparently when they introduced Ronald McDonald, it was meant, and they achieved it, to not lure kids in, but to entice them to want this unhealthy food, because here's this happy clown. And when people started complaining, I don't know if you notice now, but he's not really in commercials as much, if at all, anymore. They don't use him in McDonald's commercials anymore because they said that he was enticing kids to want to eat bad food. But he is considered the #1 famous clown of all time. And that blows my fucking mind.
That is, yes, disturbing is the perfect word for that.
Because he is like, and this is going to sound like, it's going to sound weird and like, because I can't explain it right, but Ronald McDonald is like an actual human being looking clown. Like he's not like when I look at Pennywise or even Pogo, who is an actual man, right, he's not a character looking clown. He looks like a fucking clown, like a man clown.
I mean, Ronald McDonald, all he has is, well, the red hair, no offense to your son. But all he has is that nose and the mouth and like nothing on his eyes. So it's like a very low key makeup job. It's like it's not finished. And then that weird yellow jumpsuit. Oh
yeah, like he just fucking escaped from some prison. And his hair, like especially in the newer times, his hair is like styled. It's not like a creepy, crazy, funny clown wig. It's like feathered back.
You're
like
right. Yeah.
It's like B. Arthur's hair in the Golden Girls.
Oh, B.
It's perfectly coiffed. Coiffed. Is that the word, coiffed?
Did you see this Ronald McDonald, the original, where his nose is a cup?
McDonald's cups. I find him more disturbing than Pogo the Clown. Look wise. Sorry. Let's straighten that out. I'd rather fucking hang out with Pennywise than this guy. What are your thoughts on the Joker? Do you think of him as a clown?
No. I did read some things that said that he was one of the very first quote unquote evil clowns. I don't see him as a clown per se. I think because he doesn't have the typical clown features.
And then it evolved into obviously, the character that Joaquin Phoenix played, right, and Heath Ledger. But I look at the Joker in such a different way than a show clown. I feel like these show clowns, movie clowns, whatever, and even like Pogo the Clown, they're disturbing in a different way than I look at the Joker. I look at the Joker as someone obviously that has mental problems.
Evil and prankster?
Yeah, but I don't look at them as like pedophile, like creepy clown.
They're the villain.
They're kind of sad though too, like when you think about, because they have well-known like mental issues in them. I look at these other clowns like Ronald McDonald and Pennywise, and to me that's just a whole different realm of clowns.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think that I never associated with them each other. It's kind of like a court jester versus a clown.
Yeah. What do you think about like how when we first started talking and I said the first clown that really bothered me was the poltergeist clown?
Yes.
What do you think about that?
The poltergeist clown made me scared of under the bed and scared of clowns and scared of dolls and scared of the dark, scared of lightning and thunder and rain.
I think it's funny because when you first see this clown, he's very like happy looking and he's got this big old smile and he's white faced and he's not doing anything. He's just sitting there. He's a doll. He's just sitting there and he's like this jovial looking clown. And then that scene finally comes when Robbie thinks the clown is staring at him and he looks under his bed and now the clown's gone and it's not under the bed. And then he jumps up and the clown's grabbing him by the face. All of a sudden, that motherfucking clown turns into a whole different looking clown.
Yes.
He's evil now. His face is dark. He's got this wicked evil smile or smirk on his face. He totally changed.
I wonder if they would have kept the face how you saw it in the beginning and still had him choking out the little kid and everything, if it would still have been as scary.
I think it would have been just as scary.
I think it was scarier because I didn't really notice how the face changed. It was more like a subconscious thing.
Yeah. Supposedly like this clown's main purpose was just supposed to be a distraction. Even when it's happy looking and like perky and smiley,
got long limbs and
to me, it's like, what is behind those eyes? Like, what is in there looking back at me? That's how I feel about clowns. Again, it goes back to what we were talking about earlier about how that's one of the reasons that people are scared of clowns is it's not necessarily the makeup or the mask or how they look. It's because we don't know what's behind those fake looking eyes. We don't know what person or thing is in there. And that's what makes it so scary.
So for our listeners, do you have a freaky story you want to share?
If so, go to our website at freakyfridayspodcast.com where you can email us or find us on Instagram at freakyfridayspod. I was one time, it was around Halloween. I was out running errands or whatever, and I'm walking in my car and there's a car parked next to mine and they had the Pennywise clown, the giant Pennywise lifelike clown sitting in the front seat of their car staring out the window.
God.
I about pissed myself because I was walking by and I saw it and I had to like take a double look and I was like, who the fuck does that?
Well, for your reaction.
And then I took out my phone and took pictures, of course.
It's like, haha, I hate you. But at the same time, that was a good one.
Yeah.
Very mixed feelings.
Because it looked so real. It's so lifelike sitting in that person's car. And it's funny how there's so many movies and shows and whatever that use clowns to be evil and scary.
It's like they know everybody is bothered by them and they just keep pushing them out there on us.
Yeah.
And it works.
Mm-hmm. I even think about movies like The Purge and stuff like that, where they're wearing those masks and they're not necessarily clown masks, but they're kind of clown-ish looking.
Right. They're over
emphasized, overdrawn, the eyes are big or super ruby cheeks or, you know, it's very
pretty, but they distort the face so it looks weird.
Yeah. So when I look at Wrinkles the clown, his saggy looking eyes and clown face remind me of the movie The Strangers, where they wear those weird white bag type things over their head.
Like a burlap sack or something.
Yes.
So would you go with me to the Clown Motel?
Oh, for sure.
Really?
Yeah, I would do it.
I was wondering if you would say yes because of your fear of clowns.
I would still do it. I might have to take a shitload of CBD and have some drinks, but
You're gonna say take a shit.
Take a shit. I'd probably have to do that too, but no, I would go.
The Clown Motel in Tonopah, hopefully I'm saying that right, Nevada, which is midway between Las Vegas and Reno, so 3 hours pretty much each way. What I love about them is they've totally embraced, we're weird, we're a motel full of clowns, we're next to a frickin' cemetery.
Oh, even better.
Like literally steps away from their back door is the old Tonopah Cemetery.
Are they on like some lonely dirt road in the middle of nowhere? Because that would just make it even better.
It looks like it, but there is plenty of salvage type yard things around it to make you feel like you're alone, but you're not alone. So the motel was opened in 1985 when Leona and Leroy David built the motel in memory of their father, Clarence David, who is buried at the cemetery behind the motel. And he had a huge love of clowns, had a collection of like 150 clowns. So they decided to make this the focal point of their motel. And then as the motel has been creeping people out, it's become known as America's Scariest Motel. People start sending them clowns. People will say if the clowns are haunted or whatever, but we can go there and take a little tour of the check-in office, which has a shit ton of clowns. I think on their website it says it's home to over 2,000 clowns now.
Oh my God.
There's 31 rooms. They all
Let's do it.
2 to 3 custom clown art paintings.
Ooh.
And they have air conditioning, heating, refrigerator, and a microwave.
Hey, do they have clown cocktails?
Ooh, I did not.
Do they have clunt tails?
Clunt tail. Supposed haunted rooms are 108 and 216, according to somebody that works there. I've also read 111 and 210. Out of 31 rooms, 4 are haunted. Yeah, they completely embrace this on their site. They're like, yeah, we're the scariest hotel or motel, and if you have stories, send them to us. On their about page, it says, "The Clown Motel is an experience you'll never forget. We'll do everything to make your stay comfortable, but what happens after dark is out of our hands."
Scary.
Also, you can rent an EMF reader when booking your stay and see if there's anyone else staying in your room with you.
That's creepy. I want to do it.
Yeah, I think we're going to need Depends for all of these pissing ourselves moments. So put that on the list of when we go stay at the Clown Motel. We're going to need Depends to piss ourselves.
Okay. And lots of drugs.
Yes.
Like Xanax and CBD. Nothing harmful, people. Sorry.
Cocaine. Even if the Clown Motel doesn't freak us out, I do have to say that the old Tonopah cemetery that is behind it, very creepy, and it's creepy during the day. And so if you go there at night, if the clowns don't scare you, fucking cemetery will.
Hell yeah.
It was open from 1901 to 1911, I believe. And most of the people that were buried there were miners that were in a mine fire. Very like old school, just kind of rocks around a square. It's not like your beautiful forest lawn LA cemeteries.
Right.
And of course, there's a ton of people that review the motel and say they go into the cemetery at night, and it's very scary. So we have some traveling to do.
Yes, we do. Did you know that clowns must follow 8 clown commandments?
Oh, do tell. Don't be a clown.
And there's also currently a shortage on clowns.
I can totally believe that.
Yeah, they must follow 8 clown commandments. Being a clown is no laughing matter, and Clowns of America International asks professionals to follow the clown commandments. They include remembering that a good clown entertains others by making fun of himself or herself, herself meaning the clunt, and not at the expense or embarrassment of others, promising not to smoke or drink when in makeup or costume, and to remove makeup and change into street clothes as soon as possible following an appearance, so that he or she cannot be associated with any incident that may be detrimental to the good name of clowning.
Was that all of them?
Remembering, drinking, smoking, removing makeup and clothes. That was only 5, but they said 8 clown commandments.
Maybe they're being clunts right now and just said, "We're going to tell you 8 and there's only going to be 5.
Yeah, there's been a clown shortage. Since 2004, membership is down 28%.
Wow.
Clowning was once considered a feminist act. It was framed as an example of women's emancipation. She felt like she had chosen her big top career well. Being a clown meant fewer chances of being injured and more opportunities to write their own skits.
Oh, so like a way for females to
empower.
Okay.
I don't know. Clowns are just creepy. I just wanted to name a few of some of the world's scariest clowns.
Okay.
Pogo the clown.
Right.
There's the clown, right? The clown gang, which was in France. They were a group of clowns tormenting people with chains and knives.
Ooh.
14 teenagers were arrested for that whole little clown gang.
Were they tormenting people, or were they
They actually beat some people with There was the clown shooter, and this was in the 90s. This was her name was Marlene Warren. She was confronted with a clown, or by a clown, at her Florida home. The clown stood at her doorstep with flowers and balloons, quickly pulled out a gun and shot her in the face, causing her to die. They say that Warren's husband's mistress was charged with the crime because new DNA evidence led to her trial.
He dressed up as a clown?
She hired someone to do that, and it all led back to the flowers came from a shop near her home. The clown outfit came from a store near her home. There's Klutzo the clown.
Sorry, who's Klutzo?
Klutzo the clown, his name is Amon Paul Carlock. He's a devout Christian and former Grandview police officer. He performed as Klutzo the clown to orphanages in the Philippines. But that wasn't the only reason he traveled that far. Klutzo apparently had a fetish for young boys. His secret was revealed in 2007 when he was stopped at the airport after one of his many trips. Police discovered about 60 indecent photographs of young boys. He was arrested and actually ended up dying in prison before his trial could even begin. So he was dressing up as a clown to get away with being a pedophile.
Right.
And then there's the clown stalkers. So England had its share of eerie clown disturbances in 2015. Clowns popped up out of nowhere, stalking children in their schools in Kent, England. Kids were told to get into vans by these masked men, which prompted increased police presence and vigilance among the parents and school teachers of the community. And then there's the clown rapist, Jose Guadalupe Jimenez. He was an accomplished clown in California in 2002. His career took a twisted turn. Late at night, he abducted a 12-year-old girl from a local Taco Bell parking lot, raped her while in his full clown attire, and then took the victim to a motel, assaulted her again. The girl thankfully escaped when Jimenez stepped away to talk to the motel clerk. Those are like the top 5. And obviously you can go into more detail on their stories and look it up, but those are like the top 5 scariest clowns.
Yeah.
Like real life clowns.
I must have some like safety filter on my Google because I didn't see any of those.
I don't.
Well, if our listeners have any clown stories or encounters, I would love to hear them.
Yeah. And if anyone is truly like got colophobia, let me know. I'm just curious. Like, I mean, I do know people that are afraid of clowns, but like, I want to know if anyone is like super petrified of them.
Right. Like you see one and you just freeze.
And why? Is there a story behind it? Did something happen? Yeah.
Like fucking old McDonald's commercial comes on and are you anxiety and sweating?
Yeah. And I would like to end this by saying, Jen, if you're listening to this, be nice to your mom and don't get any ideas, young lady.
Don't forget to go to freakyfridayspodcast.com and subscribe, rate, and review us on your favorite podcast listening platform.
Join us next week for a new freaky tale.